Alright, yo, hey guys, my name is Benny. I'm one of the newest additions to DDG, and today I'm going to be playing BlockLax.
Yo, I'm Caleb. I'm also a new addition to DDG, and I will be playing Gardevoir against Benny's BlockLax deck today.
So that should be a pretty interesting matchup.
Yeah, I've played this matchup a lot before, but I think depends on the BlockLax list, really.
Yeah.
Like, a lot can change depending on what the BlockLax has access to, and also, like, Guardy, depending on how many Professor Turos are in the deck. Like, today I'm playing 2 Professor Turos, also playing, I think, double Munkidori, so that will be one extra bad starter from some of the Guardy lists, but it shouldn't be too much different.
Some Gardevoir text that my list is running. I'm running 2 handheld fans and Radiant Alakazam. Some of you might be wondering how the Radiant Alakazam works, and I'll show you in the video, but basically moving damage around in this matchup is very key. If there's like a Pokemon that you want to Psychic Embrace to, you can stack damage on it so that they can't Psychic Embrace to it, or else it'll get knocked out, and therefore it'll be trapped in the active without manually attaching the energy. So that's good, and there's also other cool plays you can do with the Alakazam that I'll hopefully showcase in this matchup. So I'll get started. Do you want to cut?
Sure. This heads, tails.
Heads. I'll go second.
Okay.
I think second's probably going correct. Gardevoir is a deck that doesn't really have a good turn 1 going first, so, and my deck obviously capitalized on going second, so I think that's the correct decision. I have a mulligan.
All right. Move Klefki.
Okay.
Klefki
That's probably your best starter.
Seems like the best opener because it shuts off Rotom. Make it so that Benny will have a pretty slow start unless he can get to his boss's orders quickly, or maybe an Erica's invitation.
Yeah. I'll start with Pidgeot.
Sure. I'll take a mulligan.
Yeah. All right. Good luck.
Good luck. All right. I will play Artazon, and I'll go ahead and use Artazon.
Sounds good.
I start off by, I'll show my prizes because I have deck search. I prize 2 Kirlias. Shouldn't be too important in this matchup because I'm not trying to set up a bunch of Kirlias, but it could be.
Yeah, you only
prizes don't seem very relevant for this matchup.
You only need to set up 1 Kirlia. The Dark Energy could come into play.
Energy, yeah. Usually expected to prize maybe 1 energy, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal.
Yeah. As prizes go, those are definitely not the worst.
Yeah. Seem like pretty good prizes for this matchup.
At least with your deck, like, you can take your prizes. Like with my deck, like sometimes some of my prizes, I just won't have access to the card for the entire game because I have no real way to draw prizes.
Okay. I think I will get 1 Ralts off of Artazon. There's kind of a couple approaches I could take here. I could try to fill the board, which I think is what I'm going to go for this game. And there's also like an approach where you try and limit the board as much as possible. Yeah. Just try and leave maybe 1 Gardevoir and then whatever attackers. But since I already have Klefki down, well, Klefki's not that big of a deal unless Benny were to play the Mawile, which is not very common in block right now.
No.
I'll bench Ralts. Honestly, I don't know if I even should have benched Ralts yet. But I guess there's a possibility that Benny has his 1 Iono, so it kind of makes sense too. And I'll go ahead and pass.
Alright, I will draw. I'll also start off by looking at my prizes.
Sure.
I prize 1 Misfortune Sisters and 1 Penny. Defiance Vest, 1 Flute. Like, honestly, these are pretty fine prizes. I guess the Sisters is kind of annoying for like late game. Maybe the Penny too, but like other than that, none of these cards really affect me that much. So I'll go ahead and shuffle those up.
I think in this matchup, it's not usually that big of a deal what you prize.
Yeah.
I did play this matchup from the block side against Gabe in a challenge, and I prized 2 counter catchers. So if you prize like multiple Gust cards, that could be annoying, or maybe multiple Flutes.
Yeah.
But
so I'll go ahead and play Arven.
Usually not that big of a deal.
So I definitely don't really want to attach a tool this turn because of Klefki's Joust, which discards the tool.
I want you to attach a tool. Come on.
And I also do want to try and start targeting, getting some other Pokemon on the bench early before Caleb fully benches his board. So I'm going to go ahead and get a Flute. And with no Rotom, I think I'm going to get the Seal Stone. So maybe I can Seal Stone for like Boss or either Boss or Erica's next turn.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or Iono yet, but I definitely do need to get the Forest Seal Stone to start drawing some cards without Rotom. So I'll use the Flute.
Sure.
Hoping to get a Pokemon here. We do get the Ralts. I don't really want to get the Ralts, so I'm probably just going to not do that.
Sure. The Ralts being something that can just attack for 1 energy and switch out of the active.
I'll use Artazon.
Maybe wanting to prevent me from filling my bench for 1 more turn.
And I think, let me just check my hand real quick. Yeah, there's nothing more I really want to do, so I'll probably just pass.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and draw. Okay, so this turn, I think the goal is to get out a Kirlia so that I can start to pressure in the following turns if I need to. So I'll probably go for an Arven, and I think I'll grab the TM evolution, try to get out a Kirlia through that. I can fill my bench this turn, which seems pretty good to lock Flute out of putting a bad Pokemon onto my board. So I'll just grab a Poffin. I'll play the Poffin. Double Ralts. Just try to fill the bench here. And I also got the TM of them. I'll Artazon.
Yep. So now Caleb's probably going to fill his bench, which isn't really the greatest for me. Oh,
I'll fail the Artazon because I already have the Flutter Mane in
Mane,
hand,
yeah.
which is what I'm planning on benching since Flutter Mane and Klefki block the block ability.
Yeah.
You can just retreat for 1 energy. I'll bench Flutter Mane to prevent an Erica's or Flute, and I'll go ahead and Evo 1
Yeah.
Ralts.
Sounds good. So now this turn, I think I probably want to start applying. Probably want to start using Rotom this turn. So I'm gonna probably go ahead and boss the Kirlia because he's gonna need 2 energies to retreat that, and he only has 1 refinement. So that means he's gonna have to either find an Earthen Vessel or an Ultra Ball to discard the Psychic and evolve into the Gardevoir in order to retreat. So I'll start off with Pokegear, see if I am able to get the boss. I'm not, so I'll probably just get the Airy. So use Artazon. It doesn't really hurt to get out all the Snorlax in this match. You kind of want as many as you can. So I'll get that. I'll use the Seal Stone. And I'm going to go ahead and boss the Kirlia.
Yeah.
I'll use Nest Ball. I'll grab Rotom. And I think I'm just going to use Instant Charge.
Sure. I'll draw.
Nothing else I really need to do.
Okay. So I could try to retreat the Kirlia. I would need to evolve to Gardevoir. That would put potentially Klefki back in the active. I might want to get this energy off Klefki to force more Gust out of Benny. I think regardless, I'm going to go ahead and Refinement away a Psychic. Okay. Don't have access to a retreat unless I evolve into another Kirlia, which I don't really want to do right now. So I think I'll just pass.
Okay. I'll draw. Now I am gonna use that Eerie from last turn to see if
Sure.
I can get anything from Caleb and just gain
Nest
info.
Ball.
Yeah. Okay. So that gains me some pretty good info.
I have Boss in hand, Psychic,
Yeah.
and a couple dead cards.
Boss is-
Pokemon in case I am to like Turo.
Boss is probably the most important info I gather there.
No Iono also, I guess.
Yeah. I'll just use Instant Charge.
Yeah, draw. Okay. I guess maybe you should have attached last turn just to be able to retreat without evolving, but also I didn't want the refinement away Psychic if I do have Gardevoir EX. Solo refinement. Okay. Off of that, I didn't hit Guardy, so I might attach now. Drew another energy. Okay. I have no Psychics prized. I'll just Vessel. That way, a second Eerie doesn't hit as much.
Yeah.
I guarantee double energy unless I get Iono'd.
It's pretty.
I will attach and then pass. No Guardy.
I will draw. So.
Although retreat or switch to BlockLax would prevent me from retreating.
This is true.
Benny, you're not playing the. Are you playing the Chiyu in the fires or not?
I'm not. No.
Okay, so a lot less options to switch into Lax, just like the Penny, since the switch card is prize.
So I think retreating into BlockLax here is definitely pennying into Snorlax is an option here for me. But as I think about, I think it's probably fine. So my two plays are either to penny the Pidgeot or Silene and try and get Boss back for next turn.
Yeah.
But if I do use Boss next turn, then I'm really not going to be able to penny the Pidgeot, which means that you can probably just load up the Kirlia again. So it's kind of irrelevant to do that. So I think I'm just going to probably penny the Pidgeots. I think here I'll probably just bring up Snorlax. Unfortunately, I don't really have a tool to use to buff the Snorlax's HP. So I think I might just end this turn off with an instant charge because I don't really have anything else to do.
I'll draw. You have lots of cards now. I will. Okay. I do kind of want to discard energies before I lock myself out of Kirlia, so I will refinement away this Psychic. How many cards do you have?
I have a lot.
Yeah.
A good 16 cards.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Interesting. I'll attach Dark here, since I don't think I'll be using Munkidori anytime soon. Still have Double Rod also. Just want to get the Dark on something that can attack for colorless. Question here is if I want to Arven for like Ultra Ball for Guardy. No, I will just I'll Iono.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense there. Caleb can get the knockout plus lowering my hand to 6. That's definitely a very good turn for him.
Yeah. I did not hit the knockout, but I will still be able to hit for 30, so a tool next turn would not put him out of range unless is the big cape.
You know what, that is actually kind of important.
So that's not the worst. Would have rather hit the knockout, but I will. Yeah, since we're in, don't just want to burn that yet. I'll just do 30.
Okay, that sounds good. I'll draw. Now, like Caleb said, the 30 does make sure that the tool wouldn't really modify the Snorlax in a way that can't be knocked out by Gardevoir. Now, normally in this scenario, what I would do is I'd probably Arven for switch card and a tool, but unfortunately my switch card's prize, so we're going to have to go with something else. Now, I think I might just want to let the Snorlax die.
I think that's fine.
Yeah, I also do want to get
counter catcher.
Yeah, I also do want to get info into your hand, so I'll probably use this turn to use Eerie.
Sure.
I mean, I was hoping to get a Super Rod, but I mean, discarding some of these cards is like still fine for the late game. Now, in best of 1, I would probably discard the cards, but in best of 3, I really don't know if it matters that much because I think I can easily finish a game in 50 minutes. And then, if I win that game, then there'll probably be like 10 minutes left on the clock to win. But I think, just for the sake of the video, most of you will probably be playing it best of 1, so I will discard the Buddy Poffin and the counter catcher. Actually, I think it's probably better double
these, right?
Poffin.
Yeah.
Yeah, double
I mean,
Poffin's better. I'll use
at least with
Artazon.
the Earless, you can't even take a knockout. So
Yeah. I'll get down.
counter catcher never be active.
Get down my 4 Snorlax and shuffle the deck from the Iono that he played last turn. And I'll probably just end off my turn with using Instant Charge.
I'll draw. Okay. I need to try to attack this turn because if I let Benny get too much turns, that's just bad for me. He can start like leaning back. Gust cards. I mean, he hasn't played a Gust card yet except for Boss, but even just getting Boss back and keeping the deck full of like Pal Pads and Pokegears is pretty good. Yeah, I will Refinement away counter catcher.
Yep.
Did not find Guardy EX.
But you do still have that Arven
But I
in
have
hand
Arven,
for
yeah.
Ultra Ball. But
So
I mean,
I can just grab Ultra Ball.
I don't know if you really want to. It's just fine. Arven.
I think I'll just Arven, yeah.
It's definitely worth because you can't let me get that far ahead.
Okay. So I grab Ultra Ball and I'll just put Bravery Charm in hand.
Okay.
Because it makes it so I get closer to like that boss that I put on the bottom of the deck with Iono earlier. I'll Ultra Ball away Devo and Munkidori. Guardy. And a knockout.
Okay. So now this gives me access to not only counter catcher, but now I can start using the Alakazam because he put 20 on the active. So now here's where my plan will get into action. So I'll draw. Top deck counter catcher there is really nice. So I'll start by benching Alakazam. I'll Arven. I'm gonna get handheld fan, and I think probably another counter catcher is fine. I don't really see anything else that would be worth more than a counter catcher. And in a regular game, I can mimic the fact or insinuate that I don't have another counter catcher in hand, which I obviously do, which will potentially lead for my opponent to not Iono. So I think this is definitely fine. I'll attach the fan. I'm gonna counter catcher this Ralts.
Sure. So fan's pretty annoying here because it will move energy to like already my powered up Gardevoir, which is useless. Or
so I'm gonna Alakazam 20 onto here.
Yeah.
And
there's also a point where I can't Psychic Embrace anymore, which is pretty
that's
interesting.
One of the best things with Alakazam. I think I'm just gonna instant charge.
Yeah. We'll draw. So from here, I think I want to just teleportation burst. I don't want to waste any kind of Turo or anything. How many cards do you have in hand? If I want to like Iono.
11 in hand.
Does have 11 in hand. Pretty much the whole game he's going to have a pretty big hand. So I don't think I need to Iono just yet. But it is an option for me. I think what I'm just going to do is teleportation burst here and hit for a 10, and then Benny will get to move this energy.
I think for the majority of the game, I'm gonna probably target down this Ralts.
Yeah.
And I definitely
want
to
damage on it.
I definitely want to spread the damage out or the energies out to ignore Turo, because the Turo is pretty important.
True. Yeah.
So I'm probably just gonna put the energy either on one of the Raltses or Flutter Mane here.
Interesting. Yeah.
I think the energy probably goes on this Ralts.
Okay. Yeah. I think the Flutter Mane probably not, just because it can just retreat against Snorlax and you don't play any Mawile. Ralts is interesting, yeah. My instinct would be Gardevoir, but also, Turo being a big thing makes a lot of sense to target the Ralts.
Alright, so I'm going to start off by drawing. I top decked another counter catcher there, this is really good. How many cards do you have in hand, Caleb?
I have 6.
6, okay. So, I think I'm down both ears, so...
You are playing the Worlds list, right, with 0-6?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So I think here, with my Fortune Sisters, I'm probably just going to use this. Hopefully get one of those Super Rods, which would be really nice. We didn't, but we got Earthen Vessel, which is still pretty good.
Yeah. I do think earlier off the Eerie, getting the 2 items was correct because it means like later after Ionos and shuffles, then it'll be more likely you find super odds and stuff later.
No, I agree.
And me drawing into stuff isn't like as relevant as hitting my resources.
So
that's just a lot.
I'm gonna counter cut you the Ralts again.
Regardless. Yeah, the one with 40, and then you can start.
And then now I have access to my abilities, so I'm gonna use instant charge.
Yeah. So it's kind of unfortunate here that I have to keep hitting to this Snorlax unless I choose to Turo.
Yeah.
Because the energies will just keep getting moved.
Yeah.
Is the thing here. But I will. I think tackle it from that angle where, well, okay. Okay. So you have how many cards in hand?
I have 13.
Okay. I think I'm just gonna try something because it seems, well, what I really want to do is get access to like a boss, but it'll be hard to find a boss without a Kirlia. I think I'm gonna go for an interesting line here. I will Charm.
Yep.
And Embrace.
This is actually a very interesting angle here.
And I'll knock out.
Okay, yeah, that's a very good play. Okay.
And you get a prize.
Yeah, so he knocks himself out. So.
Yeah. And this will let me promote Klefki because I can retreat under block. I'll super run.
Yeah.
To put back the Ralts. That way I can fill my bench with the Artazon. And interesting here if I want to get an energy or not. I think I want to leave at least 1 energy so I have a couple energies to work with.
Yeah.
But putting energies back does mean that the Alakazam will be less relevant. I think it's since I still have Turos, I'll put back Kirlia because I did prize 2. I took 1, but I want access to Kirlia just in case I want to make either a similar play or like a Turo play. Nah, I don't need Kirlia. I'll just put back Ralts.
And you're going to
Artazon for Ralts.
Okay, that makes sense.
I have a Kirlia in deck already.
Yeah.
Like, my thought process was maybe I want access to find Kirlia instead of a play where I can just like Turo enough times to win the game.
Yeah.
But really by that point I will have either drawn Kirlia or like I Turo Gardevoir EX and already have Kirlia that way. So I'm just going to do this. And then retreat and I'll knock out. And then you will still get to fan here.
Yeah, so I'm probably just going to fan it to...
probably just put it to... Well, I guess there's Turo, but yeah.
I think that's correct. Yeah. So what I would like to do here is bring up Mimikyu, but unfortunately I can't do that this turn. So I'm going to bring up Rotom because nothing right now can one-shot it. And he's not his Bravery Charm, so even Drifloon couldn't KO it with a Bravery Charm.
Yeah.
So I think this is fine.
I do have a second Bravery Charm, but without Kirlia's, I also would need to use a Turo to do that, which wouldn't be the best.
No, for sure. So I'm just going to Bravery Charm this.
Yeah, and this means, like, since Benny already wants to get into Mimikyu, he will have to Penny, so it just, like, wastes one of my attacks.
I'm going to use Artazon. No, I think it's probably fine to bench Mimikyu now.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing I can really do. It's like, I could Gust Mimikyu, but then what? I'm putting 3 energies on my Flutter Mane.
Yeah.
And, it's not, like, ideal.
No. So, I think we'll do this, and I'll probably just use Instant Charge.
Sure. Okay. So, I do want to threaten this Rotom. I will draw. There's a couple ways I could do that. I think rather than discarding this Dark Energy, if I were to retreat, I would rather attach a Psychic from discard so that I can keep the Dark on. I'm not sure if I want to retreat. I could just swing into this Rotom, force Penny this turn. I'll definitely embrace once.
Yeah.
That way I can attack or retreat. I think, check out the discard. I think probably the most valuable thing I can do here. How many cards do you have in hand?
A lot.
I'll just play Iono here.
Yeah. Definitely very annoying for me. It forces me to get the penny off of this.
You will only get 5 off of this
Iono
because of the Kirlia knockout earlier, which is also an interesting implication there. I will retreat, and I'm just going to knock off the Bravery Charm with Klefki.
I definitely think that's a very good play.
That way you can't Rotom this turn.
Yeah.
Unless a counter catcher, which counter catcher is something that could happen, but
I'll draw.
Also means
now,
I get the energies into the discard.
Unfortunately, I did not get the penny. So
yeah,
this
the one
is
penny is prize. That's interesting there.
Yeah, so this is definitely a tough spot for me. I think I don't really see a way I can win this game now, which is unfortunate. Because 4 prizes. If he takes 2 with this, then he'll only need 2. He still has boss left. He still has 2
I do have double
Turos.
Turo, yeah.
Yeah.
I do think, the best way here would be a penny on Rotom, but not having access to penny is pretty bad.
And just thinking about it, I don't think I can win this game from here on out, so I'll probably just concede.
Sure.
My hand's not very good. I'm not going to be able to Rotom next turn either. So, yeah.
Did have the double Turo left in the deck.
Yeah.
So they were on the bottom, but basically once I get to that break point of 2 prizes and have 2 Turos left in my deck, there's not pressure Benny can put on without the Chiyu. And even if he had the Chiyu, just finding 1 Turo with Drifloon would win me the game.
Yeah.
So.
I also
it just depends on how many Psychic Energies I have access to, really, I guess.
It's unfortunate that I didn't hit the flute that game.
That's also true, yes. The flutes are really big. And
especially early game.
If you can hit like 1 or 2 Pokemon off flute, that can just be game ending at some points. Want to play one more?
Yeah, we'll play one more.
Yeah, okay.
And I'll opt to go second again. Okay. I think second's still correct. Hopefully you don't start the Klefki this time. That was very annoying last time.
The Klefki is very big, and starting it kind of shuts down the game plan from the block side.
Yeah. Hopefully you start. Also, if you start one of your Manaphys and Greninja, that would be.
Yes, Manaphy, Greninja, something like even Munkidori did open with Flutter Mane.
Okay, Flutter Mane
so
is
not a bad starter for me.
No, it's still pretty good.
Shuts down the Snorlax. Good luck.
Good luck.
I'll go and draw. Okay. I will go ahead and play the heavy ball. I get to check my prizes here. I have 1 Gardevoir EX, Psychic Energy. Really nothing too relevant. Might be a little bit more difficult to find Gardevoir EX, but don't have a basic Pokemon. If there was something like the Munkidori, I would maybe just pass on that also, because I don't want those Pokemon in my deck. Could be better later once I start to fill my bench.
Yeah.
And then taking it off the prizes wouldn't be too bad. But no, I didn't hit anything off the heavy ball, so I will just fail that. And not much I can do here. I will just pass.
Okay. So I'm going to draw. My hand's also not really the greatest. I do have the Iono, but knowing that Caleb's hand isn't very that strong, I don't know if I want to play that just yet. I will start off with using the flute.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm able to get out. There's Manaphy.
Yeah,
that's huge. I definitely want to get the Manaphy down. That will definitely be he'll definitely be forced to use a Turo on that, which is huge. Now, I do want to take a look at what's in that hand, and I don't think I want to Iono just yet.
No, I mean, you haven't seen me do anything, so for all you know, I might have a totally dead hand.
So I'm going to use Eerie.
Do hit a Super Odd, which is pretty good.
That is very good. And I know that I'm going to be Iono next turn, most likely, so that also...
have to be an Iono pretty much, unless maybe I top deck an Arven, but...
Yeah, that helps my info a lot. And again, there's not really much I can do now, so I'm also just going to pass.
Yeah, I'll draw here. I will bench Ralts, which Benny knows is the top deck.
Yeah, pretty good top deck, but
I
not as good
will
as Arven.
attach in case I draw a TM Evolution, so I can get into a Kirlia. And I'll thin out this Devo, because
Yeah, you don't.
I'm
obviously
drawing
don't
pretty
need as much.
slowly. I don't need it. I'll just Iono here.
Yeah.
Draw 6.
Also, the good
Okay.
thing about that is I don't have to waste my Iono, which is pretty good in the late game.
Did not hit the TM Evo, but I did find Klefki, so I think I'm going to retreat into Klefki.
That's pretty good.
Stop a potential Rotom until Benny can find a Gust card. Counter Catcher obviously not active yet. And I will just pass after that.
Okay. I'm going to draw. Now, the hand I got off of the Iono was not the greatest. I'm going to check my prizes real quick.
Sure.
Snorlax. Oh, double counter catcher is very bad.
Yeah, double counter catcher,
Yeah.
not good in this matchup.
That is
Even one counter catcher can be pretty annoying, but
double,
having
yeah,
double
very annoying.
in the prize cards is pretty bad.
Just Snorlax
No
there,
access
eerie.
to taking prizes from here, so
Yeah.
you know you'll only have 2 counter catchers, 1 boss, and then
That's pretty
Silene plus PAL pads.
So with that knowledge, I'm going to use Flute and hope I can get some a few cards off of this.
Not hitting
Unfortunately, didn't
anything,
get
yeah.
anything, yeah. And like I said, my hand is not very good, so I'll be going to just bench double Snorlax and pass.
Sure. How many
Now-
cards do you have now?
I have 4.
Sure, I'll draw.
So one of the big things is that Caleb has Klefki, which isn't very big hitter. So it will probably be a little bit slower for him to get an attack off, but having that Arven and being able to draw some cards is definitely very
so
good
I
for him.
do think I will bench fill here just because I don't want to see any other bad Pokemon hit the board like Radiant Greninja, Munkidori. To have double Munkidori, Greninja, Screamtail, which Alakazam can kind of lock out. I will grab Buddy Poffin and TM Evo.
Yeah.
Since I have a Psychic in hand, I will be able to evolve up into Kirlia.
And with the Buddy Poffin, he will be able to also fill his bench with some
Yeah.
Raltses.
There's like a consideration to get double Kirlia here, since Benny seems to be going pretty slowly. I could just like try to go on the aggressive, but I think it also allows me to just go kind of slow as well. So I think I'm still just gonna go for 1 Kirlia. I'll do Buddy Poffin.
In a normal game, you're also not aware that I prize double counter catcher, so
Also true, yeah. I will. Yeah, I'll just go double Ralts here.
okay.
Thin those out. I do
Yeah,
have a
that-
Ralts in hand, but I'd rather have quicker access to other cards.
No, for sure.
And I will go ahead and TM Evo on 1 Ralts.
Yeah. All right,
Just go
that
up
makes
to
sense.
a Kirlia.
Hoping for a pretty good top deck here. It's a Mimikyu, which is fine. It's another bench I can use if he tries to attack with Gardevoir. I can send up the Mimikyu. And yeah, here I'm not really drawing very good, so I'm just gonna pass.
I'll go and draw. And I do have Iono, but Benny is not doing anything. I don't want to give him access to Arven. I'll just go ahead and Refinement. I'll discard Drifloon. Do already have Super Rod discarded, so having access to Drifloon could be a little bit difficult, but it is probably the best card to discard in my hand. Kind of want to keep the Klefki going just in case a Rotom hits the board. I will. Interesting here. I can Joust here, which will set up Pidgeot if I Joust again. I'll just Joust for 10.
Yeah.
Could attach a Dark, but I'm not sure exactly where I want to go in the future turns
I'm
yet.
gonna draw again. Again, nothing that I can really use here. I'm gonna bench the Alakazam, but other than that, I'm just gonna pass again.
Sure, I'll draw. By now, I kind of assume Benny has cards that he can't use until later. Maybe like cards like Pokemon Recovery, cards like Counter Catcher, which we know to our prize, but I don't know that from a random player perspective. I will refine. No, okay. I did draw an Arven, so I could grab Vessel. I could also save for Ultra Ball. I don't want a Gardevoir attack this turn because it wouldn't make sense when I can just Joust and set up for Gardevoir to take a knockout next turn. So I think I actually will just refinement first.
Yep.
Because that means I can save Arven for Ultra Ball if I want it. I will discard a Bravery Charm. And this point I am getting ready to attack next turn most likely, so I will attach the Dark. And I'll go ahead and do 10.
So this turn, so the next 2 turns, I'm going to need a really good top deck, or else I think the game's just over. If I don't get a good top deck in the next 2 turns, I'll scoop. So I will draw the first one. Another handheld fan, which adds the 2 in my hand, so it's not very good. I mean, I could attach it to Snorlax, but I don't really see a huge benefit in that. So again, I think I don't have any way to retreat or penny, so I'm just going to pass again.
One thing interesting is I wonder if it was ever good to, you said you had another handheld fan in hand maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Could have attached it to the Pidgeot maybe to try and move the
buy one
well,
more
I guess it does get discarded,
but
so it only does
yeah.
one use, so maybe not actually. Yeah, I kind of forgot about the joust effect for a second.
Yeah, the joust effect.
I will just refinement.
And there's also like the handheld attaching it to Pidgeot. I mean, like the fact that it gets discarded is huge. I'm gonna need both of them in the matchup.
Yeah. You don't really want to just lose one for no reason.
Yeah.
If Joust didn't have the discard effect, then yeah, probably.
No,
but
that's for sure. But
it does just discard a tool every turn. I will evolve to Guardy. This means I can go in this turn. Is there anything else I want to do right now? The answer is probably not. Still don't want to Iono for no reason. I will retreat here.
Yep.
I'll put 40 here, and I'll just take the knockout on Pidgeot.
Okay.
Puts me in a pretty good lead with 2 Turos still available.
So
do have the Manaphy on board, but Benny is not drawing very quickly.
I do have 1 counter catcher in hand, so I will be using that and bringing up the Manaphy.
Yes, this should hopefully slow me down.
I'm not sure yet, though. I did top deck slightly, but there's like...
Don't have a Turo.
I will use it to try and get that counter catcher back, but other than that, there's like nothing I would really want again. Okay.
Yeah.
The fact that I had to discard 2 here, or get 2 back, is probably worse.
It's actually pretty annoying.
Yeah.
Because you want to draw into good cards.
Yeah.
And none of these cards are great. You can't really use Flute.
So I think it's probably just counter catcher.
Eerie. Yeah. There's like an argument for Pidgeot, but I don't think it would come up just yet. I think the Eerie is probably better.
I agree. Now I guess I'll attach the fan to Snorlax. There's no reason not to, really. I just have to hope that you prize both your Turos and you can't hit them for like the next few turns. So I'll pass.
I'll draw here. Ooh, wow. Yeah, that is a very fortunate top deck. I top decked a boss.
Oh, so there's also that too.
I can retreat here. I do know you have a
counter
catcher on top, which is interesting. But I don't think it really changes my play because the boss lets me get ahead, and then from there on I can just try to find Turo. So I guess that is what I'll go for. I'll attach here. I'll boss on the Alakazam, and then I can retreat and take the knockout.
Yeah. We're going to top deck here. Oh, counter catcher.
Yeah.
So I'll counter catcher up the Manaphy. Yeah. But at this point, Caleb's in such a huge lead that if he is able to Turo this Manaphy, like next turn, I'll probably just scoop. Down 2 prizes. There's really nothing I can do.
Yeah, as long as I can refill the bench, a Turo is pretty bad here.
And then I'll just pass.
I will draw. As from before, I do not have a Turo yet, so that does help Benny a little bit, buy him some time. And actually, considering just going for an Iono here, because Benny
at this point, you're so ahead in the game, right?
Probably eventually draw a Rotom, so it would help me draw extra cards.
Yeah.
You did just draw the counter catcher, right?
Yes.
So that means an Eerie is coming, and I do have a Super Rod in hand, so I think I will actually just play the Iono to save the Super Rod.
Yeah, that makes
also
sense.
Interesting to like let you draw the Eerie and then Iono.
Yeah.
But I think I want to save the Super Rod, so I'll go for the Eerie, or not the Eerie, the Iono, into the Eerie for you, and then I'll pass.
Okay. I'll draw. I will bench Snorlax.
I'll check my prize.
Yeah.
Don't have anything relevant left, really.
I do have Nest Ball, and now that I know that you're down one boss, I don't have to attach a tool other than Force Steel Stone to Rotom.
Yeah, really, Guardy is never playing double boss in this meta. Maybe some people are, but usually it's just 2 to 3 counter catchers and one boss.
As well.
This list is playing 2 counter catchers, which feels to be the norm right now. And then obviously also has Screamtail, but at this point in the game, Screamtail's really not going to be killing a Rotom. Like, I'm down only 2 energies here, and I would also need a Bravery Charm and a Turo. So.
I'm going to counter catcher Steel Stone here. I'm going to attach the Steel Stone to Rotom since I know that you're not going to play Lost Vacuum and that you're also down your one boss.
Who knows? Maybe I play Jamming Tower.
That is true. Who knows? And I'm just going to instant charge.
I will draw. And I did find Turo off Iono, which is very good for me.
But the question is, do you have another rebench?
I do.
Okay, so
I have Ultra Ball. So I'm going to just take the aggression here. I could kind of wait, but because I know like I have a lot of cards that aren't Turo on the bottom of my deck and try to draw a second Turo, but I think that would give you just too much time. So I think I'm going to Turo here, promote the Gardevoir EX. Don't want to put unnecessary damage on my board, and then I'll Ultra Ball, discard that Manaphy, an Unfair Stamp, and I'll just get down a Ralts.
Yeah.
Now I know everything can kind of get out of the active, even if it doesn't take a knockout immediately. And then I will knock out the Snorlax, and you get to move one of my energy.
I'm going to move energy to Klefki.
Sure.
So now I'm going to bring up Mimikyu because it's going to force you to retreat off that Gardevoir.
Yes.
So I'm going to draw. The top deck boss is like not the greatest. My hand's like kind of fine here. I do have the Bravery Charm, which prevents the Flutter Mane from knocking out. And I am actually going to start applying some of that pressure with
the Rescue Stretcher being the nightly stretcher from the new set.
From the new set, So I'm going to move 20 from here, and I'm going to put it onto a Ralts.
Yes. I am down 1 Bravery Charm, so I
do know that a Snorlax is prized.
Little access
so I'm going to Heavy Ball for
giving Ralts more HP.
There's really no downside in benching it, so I will do that.
Yeah, the Pidgeot already being down, that would only come up later in the game anyways.
And then with that, I think I'm just going to use Instant Charge.
Yeah, okay. I'll draw here. I do kind of want to keep this Dark on Gardevoir since I'll most likely be attacking with it later. So I think what I'm going to do is Arven for a Earthen Vessel. I'll go ahead and do that.
Okay.
And I will thin out another card just so I can get closer to cards I want, like Iono Turo. We'll get Benny closer to like a Misfortune Sisters, but I think I just want to try to finish out the game. So I'm going to thin out... I think I'll just thin out a Bravery Charm just in case I need to use that. And I'll go ahead and play Earthen Vessel, discard Radiant Greninja.
Yep.
And what I'm going to do here, since I can't take this knockout, is I'm just going to retreat into Klefki and discard the tool.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Good play there.
Also lets me retreat off the Psychic if I don't get gusted. So yeah, I'll just do the 10, discard the tool.
So now I'm going to draw. This Klefki is obviously annoying because I can't use any of my abilities. So I do want to...
Also the counter catchers being prized really stings here.
So I do want to try and do something about that. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and... Okay, this is definitely doable. I'm going to go for a boss onto the... I'm going to go for a boss onto... Oh, this is a tough decision. You attach the energy from hand to Klefki, right?
You actually move the energy.
Oh, I moved the energy.
I attached another one to Gardevoir, so I could retreat.
So you have one more energy left in hand.
I do have a Psychic in hand guaranteed off of the Vessel. I also have a Bravery Charm. So you know 2 of the 3 cards in my hand.
I think probably just gonna bring up this Ralts. I do expect you to teleportation burst, but And I'll switch cards into the Snorlax.
Promote Snorlax always when Ralts is active, so that I can't just retreat
So this
it.
forces the teleportation burst. I'm going to move 20 onto this Ralts now.
Yeah.
And then I will just instant charge.
Yeah. I will go ahead and draw now. And I think I do just hit this teleportation burst here. I'm going to accelerate the energy instead of attaching, just because the attach can always be put wherever I want it to. It does mean that the damage will rack up quicker. I think it's fine. I'll teleportation burst and then I'll promote Klefki.
Okay, sounds good. Yes, I will draw. This is actually pretty good. This can apply a decent amount of pressure now. So I know that there's a Psychic Energy in your hand, so I'm going to counter catch up the Ralts.
Yeah.
I'm going to move 20 from here to here.
Yeah.
So therefore, now you
means I have to touch that Psychic Energy.
Yeah. And then I'm just going to Iono.
Sure.
Get
okay.
rid of that Psychic Energy.
Yeah, so that's interesting. Maybe it does mean that I was supposed to attach the Psychic Energy. Means that now I have to find another Psychic Energy or the Bravery Charm, but both of those just went to the bottom.
Now I'm hoping to get handheld fan here, which I do, so that means I can save my Seal Stone for later, which was very important. And with that, I will just instant charge.
Sure. Okay. So I will go ahead and draw.
No, only 3 cards in hand, no refinements here. Means that
did hit I think a pretty good combination of cards. I'm gonna go in Arven.
Okay. So this could potentially get the if another Earthen Vessel, unless you're down all of them, which I'm not sure about yet.
Yeah. I should have one left in deck unless it's prized. It's not prized. I will definitely do that. The question is, let's do that. Guard down Iono.
Yeah.
So having access to energies would be pretty solid. I think I'm going to grab Bravery Charm and Earthen Vessel. Same thing I did last couple turns ago.
Yeah. Bravery Charm is also very important, which means that you could Psychic Embrace onto the Ralts if you choose to.
Yes, and here I'm going to go ahead and Embrace. And I'll knock this out.
Yeah. So same play as Caleb did last game, which I think is a very good play.
And this is pretty good for me. I could bench Screamtail. I don't really want to. I'm just going to Vessel here. And something could get fluted, but I have a Turo left in deck.
Yeah.
So with the Turo, it leaves me in a likely position to just be able to win the game with using just the one Turo. There are things that I am not able to knock out in one hit. So that could be the thing Benny tries to do. I'll retreat, leaving with the most energies in discard. I will attach one from hand and then take the knockout.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to move this Psychic Energy onto this Ralts, probably. Yeah. Now, I'm going to break Mimikyu. I'm going to draw. Now, I'm going to attach the Defiance Vest so the Flutter Mane can't one-shot this. This is still like not a great position because I still prized 2 counter catches and unfortunately didn't get one of them off of the prizes, and I'm already down 2. So I know that both of his cards in hands are Psychic Energies. So
I did attach one. Yeah, so it's a Psychic and a prize card.
Okay. Yeah. I was trying to figure out what I want to do here. So you have 1 turn left. So I think the plan here is probably
it's not in my hand though, unless it was prized. So pretty safe to say that I won't draw it for a little while at least.
Plan here is to hopefully get a Pokemon down with Flute. I do still have access to V-Star, which is important, but I think I also want to kind of save that for later.
Yeah, I mean, the longer you can save it usually is the better.
Yeah. I'm going to use the flute.
Unless
hopefully
using it enables a very good play.
Hopefully
So
get something here. I'm not sure if...
you shuffled the Turo away from the top, but no
Okay,
basic
yeah.
Pokemon. I think there were maybe 2 Munkidoris in deck.
Okay.
So maybe a little unlikely not to hit anything, but I believe it was just 2 basic Pokemon in there.
So with this, probably just gonna... Actually, I think I'm gonna PAL Pad back in the boss and Silene because those are the 2 outs I have to Gusts, which I'm in desperate need of right now. And then I think I'll just end the turn off by using Instant Charge.
Yeah. I will draw. Okay. So at this point, I just have 1 prize card. So something like a Turo when I'm block locked would win me the game at certain points. I kind of want to just start drawing through the deck. Considering just evolving to a Kirlia here, since I do have Munkidoris in deck that can get fluted out anyways.
Yeah.
Benny is down 3 flutes. So that is interesting. But I think I am
can't remember. Was the
I'm
last
gonna
one prize?
evolve
No,
the
last one was
Kirlia,
the
I think. Just so I can start drawing. I'm down 3 Psychics, 6 Psychics. So if I discard the Psychic, it would be my last. I don't love doing that, just because something could get stuck up with damage on it from Alakazam. So I think I'm actually just going to save the Psychic and discard the Ultra Ball, which was my prize card. Draw 2. I will put 20 more here on Gardevoir. I'll retreat. Something interesting here is I could either Klefki.
So I think here the Klefki is probably correct because if I do end up getting a Munkidori off of the flute, you can do 60. And then you can also use the ability.
Yeah.
The Defiance Vest makes the Munkidori attack only 20.
Dark left in there, so that's not bad.
So I think it might just be correct to Joust here.
Also considering just throwing up Kirlia so that if you leave Mimikyu, I can just get rid of these energies and Joust next turn.
Yeah, that's true.
But I might just Klefki to apply pressure also. I think I'm going to send that and then just discard the Defiance Vest and do 10.
That seems like a correct play.
Does discard the tool first, so I can do the 10.
Now, so once again, a tough spot with 2 counter catchers prized. So Klefki, okay. So I think what I'm gonna do here is go for something not too crazy, but I'm gonna bench Cornerstone Ogerpon.
Yes, yeah. Cornerstone very good here.
Cornerstone is pretty good in this spot.
Down Screamtail and Drifloon, I would need to find a rod to use either of those. Can't use Flutter Mane because of its ability shutting down Cornerstone's ability, but that's about it.
I'm going to penny this, bring up the Ogerpon, and then because Klefki's inactive, I'm just going to pass.
Sure, okay. I will draw. And so my goal here is to try to win the game as fast as possible so that Benny has a little time to actually pull off shenanigans. I'm going to Refinement away second Gardevoir EX. Shouldn't need that. I think I'm considering just going into another Kirlia to try and find the cards I need to win the game. I have an Arven and a Super Rod in deck. How much could a Screamtail do is the question. I have 3 energies in discard, could go to 4. Which would do 160 and win the game. So I might try to hit that. I will evolve to Kirlia. Refinement away Munkidori. And I do hit Super Odd, so that should be game 1.
Well, Drifloon only does
with Screamtail or Screamtail on
oh yeah,
this.
Screamtail. Yeah, that would work.
So I will go
Super Rod Nest Ball.
Super Rod, and then I have Artazon.
Okay.
So I can get Screamtail, Artazon for Screamtail.
Yeah.
Retreat off because no Snorlax inactive, and then I should be able to do 80 damage to my own Screamtail.
Yep.
Knock on Alakazam.
Good game. Yeah, once again, pricing those 2 counter catches was really rough for me, but very well played by Caleb.
Yep.
I do think that this matchup is good for Snorlax, but depending on the Gardevoir player, it can turn to a way closer matchup.
Yeah, a lot of the time comes down to some of the prize cards. Like if you prize the counter catchers like you did, that's rough.
Yeah.
Like also the fact that you were just bricked kind of for a bunch of turns off of Klefki. You didn't even have Rotom for the longest time. So even if you had a way to get around Klefki, you couldn't have done anything. And then I was just able to set up without you discarding any of my important resources.
And then, game 1, you got the optimal board state, which was good. Game 2, you did get the Manaphy, but you were able to churro it. And then I couldn't really respond to that. So very well played by you.
Yeah. GG's.
Yeah, GG's, man.
Follow me on Twitter at Memanch, MEMAANHC.
Follow me on Twitter. I'm just at Benny Billinger. And yeah, thank you so much to Etchy for having us on.
Thank you, Etchy.
And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys in the future.